911. You need police and medical.
My daughter's dead. She just hung in her.
Sir, did she hang herself?
No, she didn't hang herself, but
How old is she?
around her. She's 11 years old.
On November 29, 2001, 12-year-old Amanda Cope was found strangled to death in her own bed in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Sadly, her own father, Billy Cope, was the one to find her. He immediately went into a state of shock. However, when the police arrived to investigate, they found a very suspicious scene. Who could have done such a thing to a sweet 12-year-old child? And who was the police's main suspect in the case?
Is she breathing?
Oh, no, she's dead.
She's
She's cold as a cucumber. And
okay, you don't want to try to CPR or anything on her?
no, she's dead. Her mouth is completely shut. She's ice cold.
Okay, when was the last time you saw her live, sir?
About 2 o'clock this morning.
About 2 o'clock this morning.
1 o'clock this morning.
Has she been sick or anything?
No, ma'am. The thing was just wrapped around her neck.
Was it her bed clothing or her sheet?
It was her blanket. She just had a blanket laying on her neck. Unless she rolled over and it wrapped around her neck. It's the green thing on the blanket. She laid on the green blanket, and it had a string wrapped around it. I mean, I gotta call my wife.
Okay. Okay, what kind of house do you live in, sir? What color's your house?
It's white. She's going on to be with the Lord, but she was a Christian. Please, I really
Okay, all right,
I
sir.
have my light on.
All right, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That chilling recording you just heard was a 911 call that 37-year-old Billy Cope made when he found his daughter Amanda dead in her bedroom. The damage was done, and Billy was sent to prison with no bond or any form of bail. However, after speaking to Billy about the process of his interrogation in the initial days after the murder, Beatty was disturbed by what he'd heard. When his court-assigned public defender, B.J. Barrowclough, had arrived at the police station, the police did not allow him to the interrogation room to see Billy, a clear violation of his rights. Believing this was in regards to a deal for his client, he agreed to meet with them, but he could never have expected what they were about to tell him. As they sat him down, they explained to him that the DNA found on Amanda's body had finally been processed, and to the surprise of everyone, the DNA was not Billy's DNA in the system, and they knew whose it was. It belonged to a man named James Sanders. He'd been released from prison and moved into the same neighborhood as the Copes only about 2 weeks prior to him killing Amanda. The evidence that was excluded was the fact that, in the forced sexual assaults that Sanders had committed or attempted in the weeks following Amanda's murder, there was never any sign of forced entry. It certainly appears that Sanders was a master at breaking and entering, and left no evidence for even the most seasoned of detectives to find. Another key piece of evidence the defense lawyers were not allowed to present to the jury was the testimony from a jailhouse informant who claimed he'd overheard Sanders say he'd raped and killed a little girl in Rock Hill. These sorts of testimonies are often allowed by courts when they help prosecutors, but in this case, when it could have helped the defendant, it was not allowed. While it may seem clear to you that Billy was not involved in his daughter's death at all, this is not how the jury ended up seeing it. Both Sanders and Billy were convicted and were charged with conspiracy. Despite all the evidence seemingly pointing towards Billy's innocent, he remained behind bars. On February 9, 2017, at the age of 53, Billy Cope died of natural causes in state custody. He never got to see the outside of a jail cell after being charged with the murder of his own daughter.